Squad.
Hey guys, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this video, because a lot of people don't believe stuff like this is in games. That's okay. I mean, what's going on here has been in games for about 50 years, and they still put it in online games, and I'm gonna show you. It's called a dynamic difficulty adjustment system. So they are adjusting the difficulty of the games so slightly that you can't notice it, to affect the outcomes or change the difficulty of the match between similar players, or matchmaking to even out the skill gap. So what's going on here is it's simple. Look at the distance of the gold. Look how far away the gold is from my spawn right here, right? You see this? And then we can go over here. Now, it's funny because we won this match, but it was extremely, like, close. And I was 2v1ing people the whole game, basically, or about half the game, and then it was just weird. But look at the distance of the gold, right? So you can have it this is about 2 tiles. You can have it 1 or 2 tiles further away. It will dramatically increase the chance or probability of you losing a villager, or, you know, whatever else in the match. So it's slightly changed. So you're gonna look at my gold distance here. You're gonna look at everyone else's. So let's go over to this guy. Look how close his gold is. It's literally like 2 or 3 tiles closer than mine. This one is 1 or 2 closer than mine, about 2. You measure it out. This one is really close. It's 2 to 4, maybe 3 or 4 maybe closer than mine. And then this guy is about 1 tile closer than mine. So every single player on that team has closer gold than I do. Like it's clearly closer. And then you go over here, and this guy's about the same as everyone else. This one's about the same. And this one's a little bit further or close to the same. And I have the furthest away gold on the team, because I just had like 3 or 4 wins in a row in 4v4. Casual match. So after you get a certain amount of wins in a row, they start increasing the distance of the gold, or whatever resources, to make it slightly harder for you to keep you playing longer. And if you go through the match history, it'll do the same to you, or you can look at mine. And I'll show you more videos of where it happens again after wins or losses. And then after a certain amount of losses, the resources are going to be like right about here. So let's say I lost like 4 games before this. If we would have spawned into this map, this gold vein would have been right about here. So they just tweak little things like this, and they occur in patterns based on your wins or losses, or what's going on. And they're doing this because this is a system that has been in games since the 1970s. Since the first Ataris and all that were made, they have had systems like this in games. And I just don't understand why people are so against something like this existed. You can literally look at the match history. I just won 3 or 4 games before this. So they increased my gold length more than everyone else's. This guy is the closest thing to mine, but his is still closer than my gold. You can go and measure it. And it's insane. Like, and I tell people that they have this in game. I still play the game because I like it. I'm not going to stop playing because of it. But it's like, they do little tweaks like this just to make it slightly more challenging for the player, because it's psychology. It makes you play longer. That's why they do it. And like, why people deny it, I don't know. And another thing, the TC will shoot out of range sometimes. Like, I know if it catches you here, and there's still arrows coming, they'll still drag over and hit you, and they're supposed to do that. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, you'll be here, you'll cross through, and it will finish a barrage and hit you here. And then another burst will fire off when you're out of the bounds and hit you way out here somewhere. I've seen it hit like as far as a Berkshire Palace before. It's insane. And it does it after a whole bunch of wins. So yeah, this is just the first example, and I'm going to show you more of where the gold is, your resources and all that spawn further away based on your previous wins or losses. It's just insane that people don't believe this. You can go back and look up dynamic difficulty adjustment. You can go on Google and look it up right now. It's in almost every video game. But the problem I have with it is they put it in online games, and I don't think it should be in online games and playing against other players, because that doesn't make an organic playing environment. So that's the issue I have with it. Like, it should not be in this. And you can look at some of Beastie's videos and all that. He has weird stuff happen to him after he's like crushing people, and he scratches his head like, what? And even like some of the other big streamers will go on there when they get a bad spawn, they call it a rigged spawn. I mean, it's literally a rigged spawn. This is 100% a rigged spawn. You can measure the gold distance yourself. I mean, I just showed it to you. I have the furthest away gold than everybody on the map because I just had like 4 wins in a row. So like, what is the problem? Like, why do people not believe this? You can clearly see it on your match history, and you go and measure the distance, and it's little things like that. There's another thing that happens is, you know, when you're about to get hit by knights or something, and you take your villagers and you move them out the way or whatever, or you could do it with infantry units too, or your army. Another thing that happens is the speed of your units slow down sometimes. They'll slow down for no reason at all, just so those units can catch up and get 1 or 2 kills. And it does this intentionally. And if you go and look at the player that's attacking you when it happens, they almost always are a lower elo player, or it's after a certain number of wins or so. It's almost always when you notice your units slow down after moving them out the way. So they change these little teeny parameters that are no one notices because it's just so entwined into the game, and it affects the difficulty of the match. It doesn't always mean you're going to win or lose, but it changes the difficulty so you play longer. They could tweak it to where you're going to win or lose the match based on that. And in my opinion, that's what they were trying to do here. They made my gold further away to make it harder, so I play longer and I have a higher probability of losing the match. Because if I win 4 games in a row and then lose a match, I'm going to play another one most likely. That's what the studies say with this type of system. So if I win 4 in a row and then I win 2 more in a row, my probability of not playing goes up, so I'm going to get bored and stop playing. This is why they have this in games. So why are people denying this? Like, you can clearly see the gold is closer in every one of these spawns. Look how close that is. Look how far away mine is. Look at that. It's incredible. This one's close. Like, look at this. Close. And then these are just, this guy, his is kind of far away, but it's still closer than mine. Still closer than mine. Close. I mean, they're all close. I have the furthest gold. Look at that. And I just won 4 or 5 games. I mean, I'm gonna constantly post, because I know people are gonna hate this and they're gonna say this is wrong, and that I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. But it's right there on Google, dude. You can look it up. This system's been in games for 50 years. And why would they take it out of online games if it's shown to keep people playing longer and make money? And they're putting it on online games, and that's the problem I have, is because it's no longer an organic environment. So, to prove whoever, because somebody's hating right now on this, I am going to keep posting these and showing you indisputable video proof of the gold being further away after wins and losses, or closer to after losses. I'm going to show you all of this, and I'm going to keep posting these videos. You can laugh all you want, you're going to hate on it, but I'm going to keep posting them, and you're going to see that I'm right. And these spawns are rigged. They rig these spawns. And you can watch the pro players when they're streaming. You can watch after they're crushing a bunch of people, and then they get some rigged ass spawn just to make them lose or make the game harder. So Yeah, I mean, hate all you want, but I'm trying to help the games out, because I don't think stuff like this should be online. Offline, yeah, sure. Do it offline. Games have done that for 50 years. Don't put it in online games. It's that simple. People don't want to be cheated out of a good experience because the game developer wants you to play longer and increase the revenue for their company. So, that's that. And here's another one, alright? So this is on Mountain Pass, and this is after I had a bunch of losses in a row on 4v4. And the first thing I want to say is I play solo in team games. I don't have teams I play with. I don't try to win a bunch when I play this game. I just get on and casually play solo in team games on this account. And I don't play ranked either. The only time I've played ranked was a few times just to test the matchmaking out. So what's happening here is I just lost a few games in a row, and there was a win in between the 4 losses in a row or whatever, but back to back it was a few losses in a row. So here you can see what happens relating to the other video. You see the gold spawns right next to the stone. So I have both gold and stone protected if I decide to protect this position on these resources. And it spawns closer. So I'm going to show you another thing. This player right here on the other team, this player had a few losses in a row and then a win in between. And it looks just like mine on the match history. Let's go look at his base. Spawns right next to his resources in a row. Look at that. And look how close it is. Because this player had a bunch of losses in a row, it does the same exact spawn as mine. Look at that. I mean, what are the odds the gold and stone spawn next to each other after I have 3 or 4 losses in a row? And this guy has the same exact thing. 3 or 4 losses in a row and his gold and stone spawns together. Look at this. So you're going to tell me it's a coincidence 2 players on the opposing team had their resources spawn the exact same way close to their base so they could defend both of them after they just had 3 to 4 losses in a row? Look at everyone else. This didn't happen on everyone else. Look at this. Like everyone else's, spawn normal. Sure, their distance might be a little different. We could go through and measure that, but that's not what I'm showing you on this video. I'm showing you how these resources spawn. This is kind of close. I mean, just look at this. Look at these spawns. Everyone else, it's just spawn normal, but the only 2 players on here that had a few losses in a row, their resources spawn right next to each other close to base. So the games where I won a few in a row, you saw how far away my resources were. They were further away than everyone else on the game. And it's these little tweaks like this that impact the player's psychology to keep them playing longer and keep them engaged in the game. And this is just how it works. Like, look at this. And so now, you know, this player has a higher chance at winning or being satisfied with his gameplay even if he loses, because he's got all this in his favor. So it's going to make him play the game longer. But I mean, you see it here. Like, was there another one that, yeah. I mean, it's incredible. We could go check this guy's match history too after this, because his is spawning right next to that. But yeah, I mean, that's how it is. And this is after like 3 or 4 losses in a row. Look at that. And then everyone else's spawns normal. So these spawns are rigged, guys. Like, these spawns are rigged. And they do this, and it's just to affect your psychology to make you play longer, or try to push the edge towards a win or loss, to change that as well. Because if you win a bunch of games in a row, you're going to get bored and stop. As well as if you lose a bunch in a row, and you're going to get angry and quit. So they try to even this out by doing little things like this, and that's what I'm trying to show you here. And we got to get this has to be removed from games. Games should be 100% organic when playing against real players. So it should be 100% a real scenario, not some stuff like this where it's going to impact the start. I mean, you can go back and look at every single arcade game in history since the 1970s. The longer you play them, the harder they get, and you can look at those shooting games in the arcades, like in movie theaters, where you have the gun that you pick up and you put quarters in it. Those do the same thing. They'll get really hard once you're playing a while, so you have to stick more quarters in. They'll like force a death on you. It's the same system. They're doing it to increase money and playtime. We got to get this removed. I mean, call it a tinfoil hat thing all you want, but you can see it right here. You see the gold and stone is right next to each other. Look at this. It's literally right next to each other. 3 or 4 losses in a row, gold, stone next to each other. 3 or 4 losses in a row, gold, stone right next to each other. It's incredible. It's blatantly obvious for me. I literally, this is all I do is look at patterns and charts. And you can literally just see how obvious this is. It just screams out, clear as day. All these spawns are normal. This is in the middle and random stuff, but it's incredible. Just look at it. Here, I'm gonna add a third one into this. Here's another one, right here. Just had about 3 losses in a row. What happens? My stone and gold spawn close to each other. Not super close like that other time, but closer than everyone else in the server. Just look at this. Look at this guy. All the way spread out. All the way spread out. This one. Now this player has the highest elo in the lobby. He's like 300 or 400 points above everyone else in a 4v4 random. He's got the furthest away gold. Now tell me why his gold is the furthest away. Is it because he is 300 or 400 points higher than everyone else? There's your answer. Look at that. Look how far away his gold is. See, none of their resources are really small. That one's close to mine, but mine's still closer together. Look at that. This one has close gold. Close gold. Look how close their gold is. Look at that. Look how close their gold is. Well, that's Mongol. He can move it. But just look at this. Look how far away his gold is. Look at this. See, that player has the furthest away gold. The furthest. Because he's at like 1500 elo or something like that. But yeah, I mean, this is what happens. I lose like 3 games in a row, boom, what happens? My stone is right here, so I could drop a second TC right there and defend both stone and gold. But no, these players can't do that, because they didn't just lose 3 games in a row. It's just blatantly obvious. I can go down my list of wins and losses whenever they're stacked like that, and pick this out almost every time. The patterns are just so easy to see. I don't see how people don't see it. Look at this guy. All his stuff is right next to each other. He must have lost a bunch of times. We can go look at this. But look at that. Boom, boom, boom. 3 resources in a row. Second TC will defend almost all of that. Just incredible. This one's obvious, you know. Look how far away that is. Look how many tile spaces that is. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. It's just, yeah. So, man, y'all can hate all you want, but they've been putting this shit in games for literal decades. But the issue is it's an online game, not organic. 3 losses in a row. Boom, my stone spawns right almost next to my gold again. I can defend all that with a second TC right there. Shit's rigged, man. Game's rigged. Just like Call of Duty, this shit's rigged. Alright guys, I just went and looked at this dude's match history from the second video clip in this video. Look at this. It's right next to each other. This guy on his match history, you can go look at it yourself. He has the exact same losses in a row that this player has, with his spawning right next to each other, and me. All 3 of us have the exact same gold spawning right next to each other. That's his. That's the wrong one. Literally right next to each other. I mean, just look at his resources, how close they are. Look at that. So his are spawning right there. He had 3 losses in a row, followed by 1 win, and then another loss. So that's basically 4 losses stacked. His stuff spawns exactly next to each other. His does the same exact thing, and his were stacked the same exact way on his match history, and mine were. Look at this. You have 3 players in the same match with the same exact match history for the last 4 to 5 games. And their resources spawn, the golden stones spawn the exact same way. Tell me, you can't say that's a coincidence that 3 different players, their golden stones spawn the exact same way. And it literally mirrors their wins and losses in a row. It mirrors them. Look at this. You literally cannot debate this. So, you know, it was questionable at first. Like, until I just looked at this just now and noticed all 3 of us had the same. I was like 70-80% leaning to this being in the game, and maybe it's just bad luck. But I'm sorry, but this isn't luck. This is 3 different players with their golden stone right next to each other in the same match, and all 3 of these players have the same exact match history. 3 losses in a row, all of them, with a win mixed in. What are the odds that all 3 get the same spawns and have the same match history? You tell me.